So if you're like me, you're broke as hell and you don't like spending money on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like you love playing the game, but we don't have the bread. We're broke boys. If you're looking to play like a new deck in the format and you don't want to spend like 1,200 bucks on Fire King, Snake Eye bullshit, dude, spend 30 bucks, play this fucking deck, and then like slowly build on it. Trust me, this deck is solid as fuck, dude. Let me show you. Let me show you. So this right here is 3 copies of the Red Dragon Archfiend, Resonator structure deck. Again, I'm sorry, I forget what it's called, dude. But who cares? This is all you fucking need, and I'm gonna prove it to you. So, as per usual, we're gonna go main deck, extra deck, and side deck. So in the main deck, I'm on 3 copies of Soul Resonator, alright? So Soul Resonator, it's the only normal summon you really want to do in this deck. But yeah, you normal summon this thing, dude, and you search your deck for pretty much any one of your monsters in your deck. So really good card overall. I'm on 3 copies of Vision Resonator. So cool thing about Vision Resonator is it's an extender as well as a searcher. So if you control a level 5 or higher dark, you could special summon this thing from the hand. And when this thing is sent to the graveyard, it searches any Red Dragon Archfiend spell or trap. So really good card overall. I'm on 3 copies of Crimson Resonator just to be able to special summon 2 Resonators from deck. And dude, this paired with a level 4 non-tuner is full combo. It's actually insane. It's also an extender if you don't control any cards. So if you don't control monsters, you just slap this thing down and you combo off, dude. It's insane. I'm then on 2 copies of Creation Resonator. So this is a free extender if you control a level 8 or higher synchro monster. And it's not once per turn. And then I'm on 2 copies of Synkron Resonator. Basically, this is just to go into your level 9 synchro, and it also recycles your monsters from the graveyard. So it's a pretty good card too. For the extenders and basically the non-Resonator monsters, I'm on 3 copies of Boner Archfiend. No, it's definitely not called Boner. It's called Bone Archfiend. But you pitch a card from hand or graveyard while this thing is in your hand or graveyard to summon it, okay? And then you get to send a card from deck to graveyard. It's fucking nutty, dude. Typically you want to send either Crimson or, where's the other one? Or Vision Resonator, because Vision can, give you access to cards when it's sent to grave. But, yeah, this card is fucking nuts, dude. I'm then on 2 copies of Wandering King Wildwind and 1 copy of Magical King Moonstar, which is honestly, dude, this one is the most slept on card in the structure deck. It's actually so good. But anyway, so Wandering King Wildwind is a free extender if you control essentially any of the Resonators, as well as same thing for Magical King Moonstar. But the cool thing about Magical King Moonstar is it could become the level of any card on the in the graveyard. So this is going to really help you go into like synchro monsters and shit. For the spells, I'm on 3 Crimson Gaia. This thing is actually fucking nutty. Essentially what this does is lets you add any Red Dragon Archfiend card from deck to hand. It also fucking makes it so that if your Red Dragon Archfiend attacks, it makes all of your opponent's monsters face down defense. And what does Red Dragon Archfiend do? Oh yeah, it destroys all face down defense monsters. So dude, this absolutely fucking beautiful, amazing card. It also gets to respawn your Red Dragon Archfiend if a card is destroyed, so there's that as well. I'm then on 3 copies of Resonator Call just to be able to search my deck for essentially any Red Dragon Archfiend, as well as 3 Resonator Command. A lot of people run 2 or mostly 1. I like running 3 because this thing essentially it lets you play through Joel and Lockbird. Okay, this deck can actually play pretty well against Joel and Lockbird, so... But yeah, this thing, you just do it in the standby phase. You pitch a card to search any level 4 or lower fiend. So doing that in the standby phase, you get to play around Joel a little bit. Pretty good card. It's about to get a little controversial here, but I'm actually on 3 copies of Burning Soul, okay? Burning Soul essentially lets you summon King Calamity on your opponent's turn. And for those of you who don't know, once you summon King Calamity on your opponent's turn, they cannot activate card effects on the field, okay? They can't even activate cards like on the field. So, dude, this is a quick play spell, dude. So what happens is with Burning Soul, you need to control a level 8 or higher synchro monster for you to use it. But it's really fucking easy to set up in this deck. Like you're gonna get a level 8 synchro. It's easy as hell. Just I'm gonna show you in the combo tutorial later on, but just know that if you draw into Burning Soul, you're using this card. Like, forget whatever plan you had, dude. Your 5th card you drew was Burning Soul. You're using Burning Soul. Trust me. For the traps, I'm on the double Red Zone. I really like Red Zone. It's essentially just like a free pop. It also respawns your banished synchro monsters, which is actually pretty cool. But the free pop is really nice. I'm then on triple Red Rain. I really like Red Rain, and I like running it at 3 because it pairs really well with Bone Archfiend. Basically, when this card is in the graveyard and you summon a Dark Dragon Synchro, you get to add this thing back to your hand, so you get to like reuse it quite a bit, which is really nice. It's also not a hard once per turn when it comes to its other effect, and the best part about this card is if you control a level 8 or higher Synchro, dude, you could just banish all other monsters on the field, dude. It's so fucking nutty, this card. I love this card. This card is sick. I'm then on 3 copies of the Fiendish Golem, and to round off the deck, 1 copy of Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Golem lets you banish a monster with 2,000 or more attack, and then if you control Red Dragon Archfiend, you get to set Fiendish Chain from your deck. For the extra deck, I'm on triple Red Rising Dragon. It's not a hard once per turn. You need to run 3. Don't think about running 2. Trust me, run 3. It lets you respawn a Resonator from your graveyard and then just go off with your combos, so it's a must to run 3. I am on 2 of the OG Red Dragon Archfiend to help break boards, mainly because I'm also on the 2 Scarred Dragon Archfiend, because when this thing is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you could summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck, so it's pretty cool at spamming the board with monsters. I am then on the 2 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, because it's a free Omni Negate, so I mean, like, you'd be stupid not to run this, but yeah, 2 of these. 2 Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. This thing is pretty sick. It's a level 10, super easy to go into, and it lets you respawn your Red Dragon Archfiend, which is nice. And then to round off the extra deck, I'm on obviously the 1 King Calamity to just stop your opponent from literally playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's fucking nuts. The 1 Red Supernova. This pairs really well with Red Zone, because basically what this does is it can't be destroyed by card effects right off the bat. That's really fucking nice, but you get to banish it. To banish all of your opponent's cards, and then with Red Zone you just bring it back, and then you use Red Supernova effect again to banish everything. So it's a double field banish. It's nuts. I am then on the 1 Red Nova Dragon. This is essentially just a little baby brother version of Red Supernova. This thing too can't be destroyed by card effects, so it could gain a whole bunch of attack like Red Supernova. But if you have the opportunity, make the Red Supernova over the Red Nova for sure. I am then on the 1 Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend to be able to blow up my opponent's board and then deal effect damage. So it's actually really good in time as well and in going second. So for the side deck, I'm on the triple Terrors of the Overroot just to be able to, like, you know, play around with my opponent's graveyard. Triple Red Resonator. This is actually so fucking good for playing in time. Dude, you make a Red Supernova Dragon. Trust me, you make the Red Resonator, you target Red Supernova, gain life points equal to its attack. That thing easily gets up to 6,500 life points, dude. And then I've dedicated the rest of the side deck just to, like, for going second. So triple Vice Dragon. It's a free summon if your opponent only controls a monster. And then triple Dawnwalker paired with the 1 Fire Ant Ascator or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce this stupid ass card, but basically you discard a card, summon this, and summon this from deck, okay? And it's a free level 8. So you go into your Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, you know, try to break your opponent's board. Really good. And just to help you kill going second, I'm on the 2 copies of Absolute Power Force to inflict double damage. It's really fucking good, dude. Really good for closing out games. Just deals a shit ton of damage. So really good. Draw 5. Let's see what we can do with this, yeah? Okay. Alrighty. Oh, shit. This is really sick. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to start the turn by activating Resonator Command. I'm going to do this in the standby phase just to help play around draw. And obviously we're going to be pitching the Vision Resonator. Okay? And we're going to use Command effect to search Bone Archfiend. And then we're going to use Vision Resonator effect to search Crimson Gaia. Boom. So next up, I'm going to activate Bone Archfiend's effect in hand. I'm going to pitch the Creation Resonator because we genuinely do not need it. We're going to do that to special itself, okay? Then I'm going to activate Crimson Gaia. I'm going to use Gaia effect to search. We're going to search the Soul Resonator. I'm then going to use Bone effect to target itself, decrease its level by 1, and send a monster from deck to grave. We're going to send the Crimson Resonator here. Then I'm going to normal summon Soul Resonator, and on summon I'm going to use its effect to search. We're going to search we'll just search Vision Resonator. Next up I'm going to use these 2. We're going to make Red Rising Dragon. I'm going to activate Red Rising Dragon, effect to target Crimson Resonator and special it. from the graveyard. Then gonna activate the Crimson Resonator effective special 2 more. I'll special Synkron and Creation from deck. Next up, I'm gonna use Red Rising and Crimson Resonator. We're gonna make Scarred Red Dragon Archfiend, all right? Next up, I'm gonna use Scarred Red Dragon Archfiend and Synkron Resonator here to make Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, all right? And there's gonna be some chain links going on here. So I'm gonna go chain link 2 Scarred, chain link 1 Synkron. So Scarred is gonna summon a new copy of Red Dragon Archfiend from the extra deck. Boom. And then Synkron Resonator is gonna resolve. It's gonna add, at this point it doesn't really matter, but just for some follow-up, we're gonna add the Soul Resonator back to our hand, just for like the following turn. Next up, I'm gonna set Red Zone. I'm gonna set Fiendish Golem. I'm gonna activate Vision Resonator in hand. We're gonna special it. I'm then gonna use Red Dragon Archfiend and Vision. We're gonna make Bane. And then just to round off the turn, I'm gonna activate Bane. We're gonna tribute the Creation Resonator to bring back Scarred. So now it's my opponent's turn. In their standby phase, I'm just gonna straight up activate Red Zone. Okay, so now we have a pop with Red Zone. We have a negate with Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. And we also have Fiendish Golem. So I'm gonna activate Fiendish Golem. I'm gonna banish their fucking bullshit ass card. Okay, and what it's gonna do is, because I control a monster that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend, I can set the Fiendish Chain directly from my deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, we can't really activate it, but for the follow-up turn, it's nuts, dude. Let's just look at the follow-up turn, right? For the follow-up turn, I have Fiendish Chain to further negate. This right here is game, by the way. So I'm gonna activate Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. We're gonna tribute this guy to bring back this guy. Straight up just enter battle phase, dude. We're gonna attack. Crimson guy is gonna activate. It's gonna flip all my opponent's monsters face down defense. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend effect is gonna trigger to pop all of their face down defense, so essentially they're bored. And then we have 3k, 3200. If that's not enough, we can just use like Bone Archfiend effect in graveyard. We could just like revive Bone Archfiend. That should be enough for game. If it's not, we can just, you know what I'm saying? We could send another Vision to graveyard. We can normal summon this. That's enough for game, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, this deck is fucking sick, dude. All right, now I'm going to show you how to do the turn skip with just Burning Soul and, like, Soul Resonator, okay? So, this is just, like, 3 random cards, by the way. It's just, like, a fake starting hand. But anyway, normal the Soul. Use its effect to search. We're going to search Boner. Cool. Then we're going to use Boner effect, sending this thing to grave to special. We're going to use Boner effect to decrease its level by 1 and send the Crimson Resonator to the graveyard. Cool. We're then going to use these two here, make a Synchro 6. We're going to make Red Rising Dragon. And on summon, Red Rising Dragon is going to go ahead and special Crimson. We're going to use Crimson effect, special Synkron Resonator and Creation Resonator. It doesn't have to be these two, by the way, but as long as it equals to level 12 in total. Then we're going to use Red Rising and Crimson to make Scarred. And now it's just as simple as setting the Burning Soul. So during my opponent's standby phase, I'm going to straight up activate Burning Soul. We're going to use all these cards here. We're going to make the King Calamity, okay? We summon King Calamity, and now all of a sudden, my opponent cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! How fucking funny is that? So basically, when it comes to the chain links, you want to make this the first one that like actually activates in the chain, or else you'll miss the timing. So what we'll do is chain link 3, chain link 2, and then chain link 1. So chain link 3, you know, my opponent can't activate card effects for the rest of the turn. Chain link 2, we'll just go like Scarred to special the Red Dragon Archfiend from the extra deck. All right, so now we have 2 monsters. And then chain link 1, we can activate the Synkron Resonator to add back, let's just add back the Soul, just because, you know, for follow-up. And then boom, just like that, you have 2 bodies on the board. Your opponent cannot play the game, and you win on the following turn. This deck is nuts. $30 fucking and you have all this shit at your disposal. Alright, that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure to follow all the social links below. Make sure to join the Discord because we gaming and shit, you know what I'm saying? Alright, till next time, take it easy.